Okay, well done to our lesson today. We're going to be looking at two-way tables. Now, this topic is suitable for those students who are doing higher GCSE or higher IGCSE. We've been talking about collecting data and how to record data. And one of the tools you're going to use to record data would be two-way table. Remember, questionnaire is just used to collect the data. Once you've collected it, then you're going to write it somewhere. You're going to collect the data. You're going to put the data somewhere together. So then you can start analyzing. And one of the tools you're going to use is the two-way table. Okay. Now, we're going to look at an example to explain how this is going to work. Example 2 says, Raymond is investigating how fast the players at a tennis club can serve. So, how fast they can serve. He's interested in whether being right-handed or left-handed has any effect on average speed. So there are two things we're talking about here. We're talking about speed, how fast, and we're talking about whether the person is right-handed or left-handed. So two things here, right-handedness or left, and also the speed. So there are two things. So we will need what we call two-way tables. Now, when you're designing a two-way table, you will need to have rows and columns. So rows will always be the values that go down, and then the columns will always be going across. I mean, rows will always go across like this, but the columns will always go down. Now, at the top of the column, which are the rows basically going across, would be one set of information. So it could be the speed, the time taken, you see, for this tennis club to serve. And then going down could be whether the person is right-handed or left-handed. Okay. So if I just show you a table that's been designed here. So if you look at this one here, across in these particular rows, I've got the serve average speed in miles per hour. And you can see there are so many options that we're having here. So at the top there, going across, we're going to put the first set of information, which is the speed, okay, which is coming from that. Now, in this here, this column here, now we're going to put the other set of information, which is whether the person is right-handed or left-handed. So there are only two options for that. Now, when it comes to speed, there are so many options we're having here, and you're going to need to use inequalities because time or speed is a continuous data. They can take decimal numbers, they can take fractions. So you're going to need to use inequalities for that. Okay. So I could say that, for example, here, if the speed of that person is less than 40, the person is going to go here in this column. Now, if the speed of the person is from 40 but less than 50, the person is going to go here, and so on and so forth. Right. In this last column, I'm going to try and make sure that everybody's included here. So here say that speed is bigger than or equal to 70. In other words, anybody who is doing 70, 71, 80, 85 or more will have to go here. So make sure that you provide all possible options. Okay. Now, in this column here, in this space here, will be those people who take less than 40 and are right-handed. And in here is going to be those who take between 60 and 70, but of course less than 70, and are left-handed, they're going to go here. So I'm just going to be doing tally now. So these spaces here are basically for just tallying or just putting your frequency. Okay. Now make sure there are no gaps and classes don't overlap. If you look at these classes here, there's nothing overlapping. For example, if somebody is doing 40, the person cannot go here. He's going to go here. Okay. In this other group, if somebody is doing 60.2 miles per hour, 60.2 miles per hour, the person is going to go in this group, not that group. You understand? So there's no overlap at all, there's no conflict, and all options are there. Okay. So you design a two-way table if you got two sets of information to go into that. Okay. So that's just that. Now I would like you to pause the video quickly and then try question 1 and question 2. Okay. Hope you try that. Question 1 says, this table has been designed to record the hair color and age in whole years of 100 adults. Now give 3 criticisms of the table. Now, one thing I like about the table is that it's been designed properly. The top here we have age in whole years, and here we have the the hair color, which is quite good. But the first thing I'm seeing here is that these are not the only hair colors you can expect. There are just so many more. So some options are missing here. Okay. Now, when it comes to the age here, again, there's overlap because if somebody is 15 years old, you will not know whether to put that, to take this or that, whether to be tallied here or to be tallied here. And again, the next thing is that these ones are adults, right? Why would you put 0 to 15, for example, if they're adults. So this column here is not necessary. Okay. Then they say design an improved version of the table. Improved version will have more colors here, and will also maybe not have 0 to 15, and will not have any overlap. So I would say, for example, 15 to 30, then 31 to 45, then 46, and so on, because they are talking about age in whole numbers. So these ones are discrete. There's no overlap. We don't need to use inequalities because they are counting in whole numbers only. So there's nothing like 60.5 years old. It has to be 60 or 61. So because of that, don't use inequality. And if this number stops at 60 here, the next should start at 61. If you're stopping at 15 here, the next should start at 61. Okay, so that's how to do that. Okay, so hope you got an idea on that. I would like you to, if you've not finished question 2, you can pause the video again and try question 2 before I just show the answers. Okay, so there you are. So that's gonna be the box for question A, question 1 part A and B. Okay, so that's that. And then for part question 2, the answer over there. These are just examples of the tables you would have designed. Remember, the second one is continuous data. With continuous data, use inequality and make sure they don't overlap, as I've been explaining. But for discrete data, this is actually qualitative because you're using words. So again, make sure that you have all the options here. Right? At the top here, I've got age group, and here I've got the type of music. For this other one, I've got the school year, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and here I've got the time spent. Okay, so these are just basically examples that you could have used for question 2. Okay, so hope you done well on that. Okay, I would like you to pause question 3, and if you just want to try it, so pause question 3 and try it. Okay, so question A says, Hoi-1 is going to ask 50 adults if they prefer cats or dogs. She wants to find out if it is true that men prefer dogs and women prefer cats. So again, two-way table. One is going to be about gender, male or female. The other is going to be about cats or dogs. Okay, so that's really straightforward. Part B, Nathan wants to find out whether children watch more TV on average each day than adults. Again, it is children and adults. That could go on the downwards. And then we're talking about what more TV on average than adult. We're just gonna have TV here because you're just gonna have time spent watching TV, right? So the time spent on watching TV can go across at the top, and adult or children would go here like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna show the answers to this quickly as an example. So the age group is there, so we got adult or children, and down here we have the time they spent. Remember, time is inequality, is continuous data. We must use inequalities, making sure that the boundaries don't overlap. So this is from more than 0 up to 1. This is from more than 1 hour up to 2, and so on and so forth. But as for here, it's going to be something more than 4 because 4 is here. So here must be more than 4. Okay, so time spent is more than 4. Okay, so I hope you done that all right. Now for part C, if you just want to look at this example that is here, again, the height is continuous, so you have to use equality. The first one, you can say the height is less than or equal to 120. So anything that is 120 or less can go here. Now here, anything that is more than 180 can go here because 180 is already here. So in the last row here, it has to be more than 180. So just make sure there's no overlap at all. The groups are here for you. The last group here, I have anything that is 11 or above. Okay. Now these ones here are discrete data. So if 2 is here we have to start with 3. If that is 4, we must start with 5. They're not continuous data, and there is nothing like 2.5 here or 6.2. They're just whole numbers. Okay. In the last year, you got 11 and above, right? So hope you got that.